Episode 18, You Need a Woman. The show has just begun. Ningxi had been severely slandered, and it was a brutal attack. The previous night, a popular gossip blogger on Weibo posted a lengthy blog titled, Scheming Ningxi, the most shameless actress in history. The post accused her of sleeping with directors to get roles, seducing wealthy older men for gifts, and intentionally taking advantage of Jiong during filming. The blog even claimed that she left her door open on the set, inviting anyone who wanted to sleep with her. It painted her as a promiscuous and shameless woman. As a result, Jiong fans were furious. They collectively protested against their beloved actor working with such a woman and demanded that the production company replace the female lead. The comments on Ningxi's latest Weibo post were absolutely horrendous. People were hurling insults at her, and there were calls for her to get out of the entertainment industry. See for yourself. You need to issue an apology statement immediately to salvage the company's image. Changli ordered with anger. Ningxi sneered, an apology statement? Normally, when a company's artist faces a situation like this, they have a dedicated PR team to handle it and try to distance the artist from the controversy to minimize the impact. But Changli was doing the opposite. Instead of helping her salvage her image, she seemed intent on smearing Ningxi's reputation. If Ningxi issued an apology, it would be seen as an admission to everything mentioned in that blog. Yes, I want to see it before 8 p.m. today. It'd be even better if it's a video, showing sincerity. Otherwise, you can prepare to be kicked off the set. At that time, even the company won't be able to protect you. Changli threatened before hanging up the phone with a resounding click. After that call, Ningxi had no more sleep in her. She had expected this situation, but she hadn't thought they would strike so quickly. It seemed that Jia Qingqing couldn't wait a minute, and with Ning Xuelua's support, she managed to push Ningxi to the center of the storm in just one night. Well, bring it on. She wasn't afraid of them. Ningxi got up, washed her face, and then took out her makeup to start getting ready. Half an hour later, she looked at her reflection in the mirror with satisfaction. Her makeup made her appear pale and haggard, and she looked pitiable. As she finished tidying up her table, there was a knock on the door. Ningxi got up to open it and was taken aback. It was the wolfman from last night, Lu Tingxiao. After the events of last night, seeing him now felt a bit strange. Before Ningxi could say anything, Lu Tingxiao noticed her pale and haggard appearance. His expression immediately softened, and without a word, he picked up his phone and began looking through his contacts. Out of the corner of her eye, Ningxi noticed that his finger paused on the name Liang Feixing. Liang Feixing was the public relations director of Xingshi Entertainment, known for his exceptional skills in managing public relations, often resolving scandals and improving artists' images. He was a textbook example for public relations professionals. Ningxi quickly realized what Lu Tingxiao was planning to do. She pounced on him and snatched his phone away. Lu Tingxiao, what are you doing? I'm dealing with those things. Lu Tingxiao's face looked extremely grim, indicating that he was already aware of the situation. Ningxi stared at the enemy boss who was ready to come to her rescue without hesitation, feeling helpless. At the next moment, Lu Tingxiao quickly called over the stylist who worked for Su Yimo to help Ningxi. She had already been through a scare last night, and it was a close call that she hadn't been discovered. If Xingshi Entertainment intervened now, she might end up facing allegations of disloyalty to both companies. Ningxi spoke casually, can't even handle such a small storm? How can I survive in the entertainment industry? Didn't you say you believe in me? Your current appearance is not convincing, Lu Tingxiao replied with a serious expression. Ningxi finally remembered her makeup and explained, this pale face and dark circles are what I did myself just now. It's not about forcing a smile and pretending to be strong. If you don't believe me, want me to remove the makeup for you? Before she could finish her sentence, Lu Tingxiao suddenly reached out and lightly touched her face and eyes with his fingertip. It was just a gentle touch, but it felt like an electric shock, causing Ningxi to shudder involuntarily. Lu Tingxiao's face darkened as he quickly withdrew his hand, saying, no pretending. Ningxi smiled and said, I won't pretend. If I can't handle it, I'll definitely come back and beg for your help. Lu Tingxiao's cold expression softened slightly as he replied, all right. Then, Ningxi scratched her head and looked at him with a hesitant expression. What do you want to say? Lu Tingxiao asked gently, a far cry from the person he had been last night. Ningxi looked at him with a complicated expression for a long time, then couldn't help but speak. Well, Lu Tingxiao, have you ever thought about finding a woman to keep you company? What do you mean? Lu Tingxiao's face instantly turned cold. Don't blame me for being nosy, but I think. Ningxi carefully chose her words and then patted his shoulder with a serious tone. I think you might need a woman. Some things, holding back can be bad for your health. There's a saying that goes, a man has thoughts day and night. From Lu Tingxiao's performance last night, it was quite clear that he seemed to need it. Lu Tingxiao's face turned completely dark. Damned woman, who do you think made me suffer? Who do you think made me endure it all the way until now? Seeing Lu Tingxiao's increasingly unfriendly expression, Ningxi coughed and quickly made her escape. Time is running out. I need to talk to Little Treasure and then head to the set. Goodbye. City Suburb Film and Television City. As soon as Ningxi arrived, a group of Jiong Mayan's fans who had been waiting at the entrance immediately rushed towards her with great excitement. Ningxi. Ningxi is here. That nasty actress is here. She actually dares to come. Disgusting titch. Stay away from our Mayan. Get out of the set. Ningxi, get out of the set. Get out of the entertainment industry. Go away. The scene was chaotic, with only a few security guards protecting Ningxi as she headed inside. The rest of the crew members were watching the commotion, occasionally pointing at her and mocking her. Those gazes were like knives, cutting into her inch by inch. Those malicious looks were like a pack of venomous snakes and wild beasts, as if they wanted to tear her apart. Ningxi couldn't help but recall a famous actress who had once been at the peak of her career but was eventually driven to suicide by rumors. Her suicide note had only 4 words, words can be deadly. In the crowd, rotten eggs and spoiled vegetables kept flying her way. Someone even threw a stone, but it missed its target. Seeing that the stone was about to hit the makeup artist Amy, who was watching the commotion, Ningxi's expression changed. She swiftly leaped into action, using her arm to shield Amy just half a meter away from the incoming stone. The next moment, the spot where her arm was hit was soaked in blood. The excited fans at the scene were momentarily stunned by this sight, and even Amy, the makeup artist, was left in shock. With a pale face, Ningxi scanned the fans with an icy gaze and said, if you want to cause a commotion, do it against me, but don't harm innocent people. You, stop pretending to be good, a fan retorted. Yes, stop acting like a good person. You're a shameless vixen. Ningxi's gaze became even sharper as she said, whether I'm a good person or a bad person is determined by what? An unfounded Weibo post or baseless rumors? Although you're young, I hope you think before you act. As fans, your actions reflect on your idol. Don't let yourselves be manipulated and unknowingly tarnish your idol's reputation. Ningxi knew that at this moment, they would only listen to what concerned their idol. When did it become your place to teach us a lesson? I actually think what she said makes sense. Who threw the stone just now? Step forward. Didn't we agree not to use violence and only throw eggs at most? Yeah. Who did that? We're here to seek justice, not to tarnish Jiang Mai's reputation. The agitated fans temporarily settled down, and Ningxi finally managed to make her way to the shooting location. When director Guo Qixing saw her, he quickly invited her into the dressing room. Ningxi, you're here. Come sit down. Director, I'm sorry for causing trouble for the crew. Ningxi bowed deeply with a guilty expression. Seeing the girl's weary appearance, Guo Qixing comforted her, you're not the one causing trouble. Others might not understand you, but I do. They've been saying you have no acting skills, which is pure nonsense. As for the rumors about, well, I've seen enough of this kind of thing. I know who's right and who's wrong. Thank you, Director. She was genuinely grateful for Guo Qixing's support at this time. However, the impact of this incident on you is too significant. Look at you, all pale and exhausted. How about taking a few days off to rest? Guo Qixing suggested. Ningxi immediately replied, no need, Director. I want to continue filming. My situation has already caused a lot of trouble for the crew. If I further delay the shooting schedule, I'll be truly to blame. Seeing her determination, Guo Qixing revealed a relieved expression. Alright, if you ever find it too difficult, remember to let me know. After leaving the director's room, Ningxi was suddenly pulled into a secluded corner by a powerful force. The person looked anxious, and even their golden retriever appeared a bit listless. Ningxi, are your hands okay? It's just a minor injury. I've already taken care of it, Ningxi said casually. Jiong Mai, who seemed agitated, complained, I was about to release a statement to explain to the fans, but Minggu changed my Weibo password and won't let me log in. He said that if I step forward now, it will only harm you even more. Ningxi patted her chest in relief, thank goodness for Ming Ge's intelligence. Jiang Mai immediately looked wounded. You heartless woman. I'm doing this to help you. Ningxi sighed, if you really want to help me, then I'll give you a heads up. Later, I'll have to act like a pure, innocent flower. You need to cooperate with me and not mess it up, or else I'll really cut ties with you. Jiang Mai pretended to be puzzled. What did you just say you'd have to act like? A pure, innocent flower. Any problems with that? Are you sure you, a fierce tigress, can handle such a challenging role? Get lost. Today happened to be a day where most of the scenes Ningxi had to film were with Jia Qingqing, playing rivals in the story. While she was sitting under the shade, studying the script, an annoying voice suddenly reached her ears, a voice filled with sarcasm and glee. Oh, isn't this our big celebrity? Ningxi, you're quite famous now, everyone knows about your escapades. You really have no shame, causing all those scandals and still daring to show up on set. Jia Qingqing's expression was anything but sympathetic. As long as Ningxi was driven out of the set, she could seize her position and act alongside Mai Gu. Ningxi bit her lip, her body trembling slightly, and her face wore an embarrassed expression as she fell into silence. Seeing her reaction, Jia Qingqing became even more delighted. She coquettishly approached Jiang Mai, Brother Mai, you should keep your distance from a person like her. Otherwise, her actions will tarnish your reputation. She's already making you lose fans. As Jia Qingqing drew closer, a pungent fragrance of perfume filled the air. Jiang Mai's temple pulsed with irritation, but he managed to restrain himself and took a deep breath to calm down, remembering Ningxi's warning. Ignoring Jia Qingqing's provocative words, Jiang Mai simply said, You're annoying. I'm sorry, Brother Mai. I won't disturb your rest. Jia Qingqing walked away, feeling somewhat aggrieved. She was displeased by Jiang Mai's continued coldness, but she quickly calmed herself. After all, once she obtained the role of the second female lead, she would have plenty of opportunities to interact with Brother Mai. Just thinking about those intimate scenes made her unable to contain her excitement. By the way, why did the director still want her to continue filming scenes with Ningxi today? It felt like a waste of time. However, she did like the scenes they were filming today. One of them involved her slapping Ningxi. Humph, she would make sure it looked great. Director, I believe that if I actually slap her, the effect will be much better. What do you think? Jia Qingqing, who usually didn't care much about filming, proactively approached the director to discuss the scene. Guo Qixing knew exactly what she was thinking and said in a low voice, the main thing is to fake it. At most, you can lightly graze her face. I understand, Jia Qingqing replied, but she had no intention of following his advice. She was determined to actually slap Ningxi, and she planned to do it multiple times to make her suffer. She had plenty of experience with these kinds of personal vendettas in public, and she had never failed. Once all the departments were ready, the shooting began. In this scene, Meng Chang'e had just entered the palace, adopting the alias Namo. She was still just a lowly palace maid, but because the emperor had taken notice of her, the noble consort was jealous and called her into the inner chambers to cause trouble. You shameless wench, how dare you seduce the emperor in front of me? The noble consort berated her before delivering a powerful slap. As Jia Qingqing moved to carry out the action, Ningxi squinted her eyes slightly. She shifted her body skillfully and narrowly avoided Jia Qingqing's hand, but it felt as though a tremendous force had struck her, causing her to tumble to the ground. She then spat out a mouthful of blood, her face twisted in pain. Ningxi. Guo Qixing was shocked, and the other crew members watching were equally taken aback. They rushed over in concern. Jia Qingqing, is this your first day acting? Can't you even control your own strength? Guo Qixing, who usually had a good temper, was genuinely angry this time. He couldn't intervene in matters outside of the shoot, but he couldn't tolerate these underhanded tactics during filming in his production. I just lightly slapped her, I didn't use much force at all. She's faking it. Jia Qingqing protested with a strained voice. She had indeed used some force, but it was far from enough to make Ningxi collapse and spit blood. She clearly felt Ningxi dodge her attack earlier and barely make contact. Unfortunately, Jia Qingqing had a terrible reputation in the industry due to her previous actions, and since she had been targeting Ningxi, not a single person believed her now. Director, I'm fine. My mouth is just a little cut. If I suck on some ice water, it'll help. Qingqing probably just wanted to make the scene look better. Don't be angry. Ningxi displayed a look of innocence, even though she felt wronged. She tried to be understanding and mature about the situation. Her expression evoked sympathy not only from the director but also from others present on set. Jiong watched this drama unfolding and couldn't help but be amused. He almost burst out laughing. This girl was playing the role of an innocent flower quite convincingly. Jia Qingqing, seeing Ningxi's delicate appearance, exploded with anger. Ningxi, stop pretending. You clearly did it on purpose. Did you bite yourself and hide a blood capsule in your mouth in advance? Jia Qingqing, that's enough. Gui Qixing scolded. Jia Qingqing's assistant, standing nearby, was afraid the situation would escalate. She tried to calm Jia Qingqing down. Qingqing, let it go. Don't make the director angry. After all, we made a mistake too. It was evident that even the assistant believed that Jia Qingqing had deliberately used more force than necessary. She had witnessed such incidents several times when working with Jia Qingqing. Jia Qingqing responded by slapping her assistant across the face, sending her tumbling to the ground with a bleeding lip. The crew members who were watching, especially those with lower positions like the assistant, rushed to help her. Their expressions towards Jia Qingqing were filled with disgust. Although Ningxi had a messy personal life, she had never negatively affected others, and she was dedicated to her work. Jia Qingqing, on the other hand, was behaving like a harridan. This was the first time Jia Qingqing had been wrongly accused, and as she was about to lose control and attack Ningxi, someone stepped in to stop her by holding her wrist. Qingqing, come on, I know you wanted to impress the director and show your dedication, but there's no need to take it so seriously. People who know you appreciate your professionalism, and those who don't might misinterpret it, said the person who had just arrived, Ning Xuelua. Ning Xuelua had no scenes to film today. She had originally planned not to come, but she wanted to see Ningxi's misfortune. She didn't expect to witness this scene instead. What on earth is Jia Qingqing doing? How did she turn such a promising hand into this? Seeing that everyone was beginning to pity Ningxi due to Jia Qingqing's actions, Ning Xuelua quickly stepped in to defuse the situation. As soon as Jia Qingqing saw Ning Xuelua, she treated her like a dear friend and began to pour out her grievances. Sister Xuelua, this wretch is defaming me. Fearing that Jia Qingqing might say something inappropriate and turn everyone against her, Ning Xuelua dragged her into a corner and said, "Why can't you control your temper? Ningxi is going to be kicked out sooner or later. Why would you provoke her now when you can't explain the situation? The best thing you can do is apologize to Ningxi right away." Jia Qingqing exploded upon hearing this. What? You want me to apologize? I won't do it. Sister Xuelua, how can you stand on her side and speak up for her?